guys, how you doing? Happy Monday. Let's start the week off good. Remember, the rest of the week is going to be determined about how you roll today, right? So I was sitting there, I want to make a video about stress and how I alleviate stress. There's so many different things that I do, and all of us have a different level of stress, and we deal with stresses in our life, especially in today's world. Buddha refers to those as the 10,000 things in the world. And I was blessed with bipolar disorder and general anxiety disorder. So I have to deal with stress on a daily basis, just like everybody else. But sometimes my stress becomes overwhelmingly too much where I could lose my shiz, like my daughter says. So what are some of the things that I do? I like to listen to some Zen music when I'm going to bed. When I get up in the morning, I change my Zen music up a little bit more to a different type of upbeat Zen music, and then into another type of music as well. There's so many different things that we can do. I take CBD oil, for example, which helps me rest more. I meditate. Meditating is one of the best things that you can do, because what it actually does is it puts your default mode network to sleep. And your default mode network is that programming that we designed in our brain before we were 10 years old. When we put our default mode network to sleep, then our subconscious can manifest itself. And we can process a lot of those emotions and feelings that we have deep inside of us if we do that on a daily basis. But this isn't why I'm making the video, because of CBD oil or meditation or Zen music or getting the right amount of sleep, minimum 7 hours of sleep, and no light in the room. If you have any light in the room, or you look at your cell phone before you go to bed, that can actually disturb your rest at night. But this video is what I wanted to give you as the biggest tip in the world that I do quite often, is shrinking my world. Taking one step literally at a time. And I mean it really small, because everybody stresses, everybody gets in those situations where they feel like they can panic or whatever. And the only reason they would say no is because of pride and ego, to not admit that people get anxious when the pressure's on. So what we can do, here's the number one tip I can give you. One step. You get up in the morning, you put one foot on the ground, you put the other foot on the ground. You grab your cell phone, if you grab your cell phone to listen to some music, or you go to the bathroom, you go to the kitchen, you grab your water. Grab your water. Start your morning routine. Two of the biggest things that can protect you are rituals and routines. But it's back to shrinking your world. When you're taking one step at a time, one move at a time, one thought at a time, then you're actually in the moment. Because the past, I've always mentioned this in my videos, the past is depression, like Lao Tzu says, and apprehension of the future is anxiety. So if we can live in the present moment, there is no stress. There is no tension. In the moment, that moment I just spoke of actually just passed right now. So if you think about it, you think bigger, think cosmically. In the moment that you're in right now, like if you're watching this video and you're not distracted and you're giving me your undivided attention, you're not going to feel any stress in the present moment. So that's that thing that we have to do, especially sometimes like on a Monday is a cruncher day for me, because I'm getting caught up from the stuff from the weekend and from the last week. And we just take the day slow and steady, even though the day might be boom, 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 boom. We take slow and steady, one little step at a time. You check one email at a time. You check one text at a time. You make one call at a time. You eat one bite at a time. You take one move at a time. And that's one of the biggest tips that I can ever give you guys. You ever notice those days that are really busy and all of a sudden it's 5 or 6, 7 p.m. in the evening? That's because your mind, you were occupied and you were caught up in the moments all day, and the day just flew by just like that. So that is a great way of distracting the mind, is obviously staying busy. But how about on those days when we get in our head and the day's a little bit slower? Again, one step at a time, even a power nap, or 10 breaths. 10 deep breaths. You take your breath in, you hold it for a moment, About 4 to 5 seconds easy on the inhalation and the exhalation. Do that 10 times. Also, we have these applications on our phone, like Apple has the Breathe application, and that's a great way to actually slow things down. I just pulled off my CGM, it's called a continuous glucose monitor, and I actually did it in front of somebody a couple weeks ago where there was a stressful moment and my blood sugar came up. A lot of times we don't realize that our blood sugar rises when we stress because of the release of cortisol into our bloodstream. Also, when our blood sugar is risen like that and we eat food, we have a tendency to store more body fat. So many different tips out there, but I'm going to leave you with this on this beautiful Monday. Make your world small. Take one little thing at a time. That's how I have over 15 years off of cocaine. Is I took it one freaking day at a time, and sometimes those days I had to break down into hours or half days, hours, minutes, seconds, and that's going to be one of the best tips I can ever give you guys is live in the moment, be in the moment. Nothing bad happens right in the moment. Peace to you. Have a great day.